Hi, welcome back to Mind Control.
You are responsible for your life. And if you're sitting around waiting on somebody to save you, to fix you, to even help you, you are wasting your time, because only you have the power to take responsibility to move your life forward.
Nobody is going to cry for you. They have their own tears. One thing I'm positive about is how ROI negative complaining is and how much I'm trying to suffocate the practice of it. I really have been fascinated by people that have changed their mindset into understanding that everything that is not going well right now is their fault. It has been remarkably important to me in understanding that everything that I'm not happy about is on me. It's a remarkably interesting brain twist. The amount of energy spent on things that you can't control versus being accountable to what you can control has been a huge separator for me in the last 4 or 5 years as I've dug deep.
I always tell people the most valuable lesson I got from my mentor, Jim Rohn, was I asked my father, worked 2 jobs. We were always broke. We had no money for food. And we lived in a community we moved to, which was, I thought they were all rich and we were on the other side of the tracks. It was lower middle class, but compared to where we lived before, these people seem rich compared to us. And I just didn't understand it. And Jim said to me, Tony, it's not about the value of your soul, it's about the value of you in the marketplace. And your father's skills are not that valuable.
Someone said we have 2 primary choices in life. We can either accept conditions as they exist, or we can take the responsibility to change them. See, a lot of people want to exempt themselves from taking responsibility. All they want to do is talk about the problem. Every time you see them, they'll tell you their story over and over and over and over again.
No one's going to do anything for you. Couple rules of being a real leader. You need to take responsibility for your own life. Bringing energy to your team, leading in recruiting, leading in leadership, leading in growth. Nobody owes you anything, but you owe other people everything. That's what a leader does. You take responsibility. You know exactly right now what you're not doing. It would be criminal of you to leave here and say, I don't know what to do. You know exactly what you're afraid of. You know exactly what you've been avoiding, and you got to make a decision to change it. You know exactly what it is. Don't BS anybody. You know what you need to do different. You know the changes you need to make. And if you can do that and stop kidding yourself, you can win. You can overcome your fear, overcome procrastination, whatever that is.
I say to people, you got to participate in your own rescue. You've got to retool yourself. There are no skill sets in community colleges today, for the most part, that are going to prepare you for the economy or a job that's there. So what is that going to do? You're just going to waste more money, more time. We need to retool ourselves. The government's not going to do it for you.
And even when you're struggling, even when you're discouraged, and you feel like other people have given up on you, don't ever give up on yourself.
When everybody's out there making mistakes, when everybody's out there not being responsible, are you going to be the one to be responsible? If you are a father, if you are a mother, it is your responsibility to be the best parent that you can be. If you are in charge of a company, or you're a manager, or anything that requires your responsibility to step up, then it is up to you to lead by example. You have to take the lead, not always following, but leading the pack, leading in the right direction, doing the things that will take you to the levels that you need to go and beyond them. But you can't hold back anymore. And you can't say, I'm sorry all the time, because your sorry just ain't gonna cut it. Step up to the plate and be responsible. Step up to the plate and do what's necessary. Step up to the plate and do all the things that is required, and then we can talk. Then we can talk about the next thing in your life. Then you can have that intimate conversation with yourself, within yourself, and realize that this is it. Now I got more work to do. There comes a time in your life where you have to step up to the plate. There comes a time in your life where you have to understand the significance of what it means to be responsible. To have the responsibility to understand that you have to take full control of your actions. Now, many people tend to wait and not get themselves in a position to where they need to be and to be accountable for what they do in their lives. Being responsible, taking full action of everything you do in your life.
I met my teacher who helped turn my life around when I was 25. That's 6 years. At the end of the first 6 years of my economic life, I've got pennies in my pocket. I've got nothing in the bank. The creditors are calling saying, hey, you told us the check was in the mail. I'm embarrassed. I'm behind on my promises. I live in America. I'm 25-year-old American male. I got a nice family, every reason to do well. And I'm messed up. Now, what's messed up? I used to think it was the community that was messed up. The country was messed up. The government was messed up. If those Democrats ever get in the White House, that'll really mess things up. If the Republicans stay in power, that'll really mess things up. The economy was messed up. Interest rates are messed up. I thought all this stuff was messed up. Then I found out that's not what was messed up. I was criticizing the only thing I had to work with. What was really messed up was my own personal philosophy. My own errors in judgment in my own personal philosophy brought me in 6 years to pennies in my pocket, nothing in the bank, and trying to explain why I wasn't doing well, living in America, 25-year-old American male, got a family, every reason to do well. Now, once I understood this, here's the formula for failure: errors in judgment, being lax about developing your own personal philosophy. I'm telling you, it's called accumulated disaster.
Thank you so much for watching till the end. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Please also like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and families. Please watch our other motivational videos. Thank you again.
If you're a married couple, you have to have a minimum 4 bank accounts. The best advice I ever got. You need 4 bank accounts. If one person is working in the house or if 2 people work in the house, it don't matter. You need 4 bank accounts. You take your money, financial planner taught me this. You put both monies in one account. That account takes care of all necessary items: car notes, mortgage, rent, electric, gas, food, everything that maintains your lifestyle. The second account that you have is a savings account that requires 2 signatures to move. But out of every check, I don't care if it's $5, $10, or $100, you gotta agree to put something in that savings account. That money cannot be moved unless it has 2 signatures. Then the third and fourth account you need is her personal account and your personal account. You decide what the allowance is for each of the people. I am not allowed to tell Marjorie what she can do with that money that's in her account. I can't check it. I can't go behind it. She can't say to me about mine. If I want to buy golf clubs with it, I can buy golf clubs. If she want to buy shoes, if she want to buy makeup, she want to go on a spa, you can't say. It allows a married couple to maintain some individuality, and no grown-up person wants to go to another adult to ask for some money. Nobody wants to go, can I get my hair done? Well, we can't afford that this week. Oh, you. And that advice he gave me was the best advice. It holds down a lot of arguments, man. Now, if you spend your money in your account, yeah, see you next month. But now, fellas, let me tell you something. The woman should get more in her account than you get in yours. And, no, I'm just telling you. Because of the maintenance cost of being a woman. It's just more expensive.
This is your checklist for the rest of your life. If something's not working in your relationship, this is the first place you go. 5 disciplines of love and 3 of passion. These 5 disciplines are what the game is all about. The first discipline we call the discipline of unconditional love and compassion. The discipline, why do I call it a discipline? Because you don't always feel unconditionally loving and you don't always feel compassionate. If your triggers get fired, if something triggers your masculine or feminine, animal in you, that survival instinct in you based on something going on, you may not show up so, unconditional in your love and compassion. What this really means, put in one phrase, put your lover what? It's not about you. That's the law. You put your lover first. If you are having problems in your relationship, I can promise you that the problem you're having right now is you're feeling pain right now, and it's because you're focused on yourself, not your partner. You're focused on what you're not getting. You're focused on what your partner's not giving you. You're focused on something that's not happening there. This is the number one law. You want to have an extraordinary relationship, tear up your rules, make this your number one rule. Number one rule is my lover comes first. My number one rule is if you're in love, you put their feelings and needs before your own. Second discipline, real quick, the discipline of absolute courage and vulnerability. Absolute courage and vulnerability. This is learning to love no matter what. I mean, truly no matter what. Now, how many people are going to do that? Not many. Not many people are going to have an extraordinary relationship. But what I mean by this is, if you have courage and vulnerability, that means you tell the truth. That means you open up. Most people, out of a lack of courage, hold back their gift. This idea that you're going to give pain to somebody you love, you're going to punish them, that takes no courage, that takes no vulnerability, that's just stupidity. So the more vulnerable you are, the more power you have, because love penetrates all. Third law, it's the law of positive intent. The discipline, I should say, of positive intent. By the way, discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. You don't follow these disciplines, you're gonna have regret. Right? They're disciplines, they're commitments, they're things you're gonna do no matter what. Discipline means even if it's not easy, you still do it, right? Discipline is, it's a habit. That's what a discipline is, it's a habit. It's the discipline of positive intent. You know the deeper truth that this is a no blame game. You know that when something happens, no matter what it was, like when I said that to her, my girl knew, she and I made a decision early on. I decided, and this is a decision I encourage you to make if you haven't made it, or make it anew if you haven't made it in years. I decided I knew this woman's soul. This woman's soul was as pure as anything I could ever dream of in my life. I knew that I loved this woman, her soul was pure, so no matter what happened, I would serve her, and no matter what happened, no matter what she said, no matter what she did, I would know, even if I couldn't figure out how, the intent was pure. The intent was wanting to get closer. It looks mean, but she's scared. It looks vicious, but she's just freaked out. You know, and same thing with me. He looks like he's an unconscious asshole. He just doesn't know. It looks like he doesn't give a shit. He's actually a masculine male, and this is what they do, right? We shifted the meaning to always there's an empowering meaning because there's never negative intent, no matter what it looks like, no matter what was said. And by having that, along with that, the discipline of positive intent, in a sense, no blame game, we immediately apologize. It doesn't matter what has happened. If there's any argument we have, it's a playful argument, which is, I'm taking responsibility and she's taking responsibility. No, honey, it was my fault. No, it was my fault. And it's like, and we mean it sincerely. It doesn't matter what it is, because I hold myself as whatever she's feeling, ultimately it's my responsibility. Even if I didn't intend it, that's it. So I take responsibility. I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry your feelings were hurt. She does it with me also. And since we both are constantly doing it, it makes it like there's nobody ever blaming somebody else. So think about this. We put each other first. If we find we're not, we change that immediately.
If you've been struggling to figure out your passion, or you're unclear as to how to turn your passion into profits, or you're having a hard time making a substantial amount of money following your passion, then I have an important message for you. Hi, this is T. Harv Eker. I'm the author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And I have to say that I'm disappointed and frustrated that so many people settle for jobs, careers, and businesses that don't fit who they really are as a person. And you know what? I totally understand why this happens. I mean, we have this old and often ineffective system called school that promises that when we graduate, we'll have this great job waiting for us. Well, one of them that's going to make us good money so that we can live comfortably and have a great life. You know what? Back in the day, maybe that was the case for a lot of people. They did get a good job after school, but it only allowed them to make some decent money and hopefully pay the bills. Basically enough to survive. Now, if you're in a generation younger than me, then many of you have actually had it much worse because the job market, in case you haven't noticed, has been extremely tough. And a lot of you have taken pretty well anything that you could get. And you know what? There's no shame in that. I mean, we all need to make some money for the basics, yes? So I totally understand that. But what about the other important parts of our life? Does being in a job that you don't like or just earning a living result in a fantastic life? If you hate getting up in the morning and going to work and you mostly live for your weekends, does that allow you to be fully happy? To me, this is robbing you of the most precious thing you've got, your life. Why? Because most of us spend the majority of our time working more than anything else that we do. Yes or yes? And if you don't really love what you do, then guess what? Then you can't really love your life. I hope you can relate to that, yes? So I sure can do that myself. I mean, I can relate to all of this because, you know what? This was one of the biggest challenges I ever had in my whole life. Early in my career, I actually had 14 different jobs and 12 different businesses in just 10 years, searching for the right work. I was looking for the hottest new businesses and upcoming trends, and I was trying anything where I thought I could make money quickly. And even though I was sure, I was positive this was the route to happiness and success, I ended up with what? Little money, little meaning, and very little or no fulfillment at all. And it wasn't until I stopped looking at outside opportunities and started looking inside that my life changed. And for the first time, I started to get really clear. And what I found out was that what I was searching for was not outside of me at all. It was inside of me.
Remember, be a student, not a follower. And here's what you must always do. Design your own personal life. Remember, be no one's disciple. Chart your own course. Make what you do the product of your own conclusion. Here's another approach. Step down to something easier. If you're getting hassled by the management of time, what you're doing, you might want to, change course. What I'm saying here is be your own person. You don't have to be a model of someone else. You don't have to do it like anybody else. Right? Do it like yourself. Buy what you want to buy. Listen to what you want to listen to. Make changes if you want to make changes, and don't make changes. Right? It's your life, I'm telling you. And don't let anybody persuade you any different. Success is not a stereotype. Success is not a Ferrari. Success is not an automobile. It's not a house. It's not a place. It's not money in the bank. It's not $1 million. That's not success. Success is the continual unfolding of the design of your own life and pulling it off. That's what success is. The continual unfolding of the design of your own personal life and pulling it off in whatever degree you wish. That is success. Successful in doing whatever you want to do that makes sense to you, for you, your family, your responsibilities. Take on responsibilities or refuse responsibilities. That's strictly all up to you. We've been given the power of choice. Every life form except human beings operates by instinct in the genetic code. It has no multiple choice. Only humans have multiple choice. All life form is driven by instinct in the genetic code except human beings. Now, why not human beings? Because here it is. We've been given the dignity of choice. We're not like a robot. We're not stuck like a tree, using up all the nourishment, nothing left, now you died because you can't change location. Not true. Humans can go north, south, east, west. Humans can change, do anything they want to do. We've been given the dignity. But here's what's interesting about all life form except humans. Every life form except humans strives to the max of its potential. How tall will a tree grow? As tall as it possibly can. You never heard of a tree growing half as high as it could. No, that is impossible. A tree grows as high as it can, drives down every root it can, produces every leaf it can, extends itself as far as it possibly can. Every life form extends to the max, except human beings. Now, why not human beings? Because we're not robots. We've been given the dignity of choice. And here's a couple of alternatives on the dignity of choice. To be part of or all of. You have the potential to be. And you got the choice. Do a little to make yourself comfortable and forget the rest, or do it all. And there's nobody here to dictate you got to do it all. That's nonsense.
Let me tell you something before you go. Whenever people come see me live, I try to say something meaningful to people. You know, I'm in the laugh business. That's my gift. That's what God gave me at birth. Your gift is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. I want to tell you something that can help enrich your life. It's a sure sign from God that he ain't through with you because he wakes you up in the morning. When he's done, you won't wake up no more. But as long as you're waking up, that means he has something for you that he hasn't been able to give to you for whatever the reason. I'm going to help you get to that reason a little bit quicker. I want to tell you something that I learned that changed my life. I was reading a book one time that had a quote in there from Albert Einstein. And Albert Einstein said, imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attraction. If you think about that, that's a really, really true statement. Because everything you see in this world came from somebody's imagination. Everything. Somebody was talking on the phone one day, on that wall phone, connected to the cord, and tried to walk, and it didn't go no further. And he wanted to just go outside and get something out the car. Somebody said, you know what? I wish I could take this phone outside. Everybody in here got a cell phone. It was in somebody's imagination. Somebody imagined that. Somebody imagined everything. Somebody got tired of walking. Somebody got tired of driving cars. Somebody said, we're going to fly. You're not finna fly. Everybody in here have been on a plane. See, your imagination is the evidence of things not seen. You know why they call it the evidence of things not seen? Your imagination, you the only one can see it. You're the only one can see it. See, so all this stuff you've been imagining was not some hocus pocus. When you imagine stuff, it's actually God showing you a preview of a coming attraction he has for you. That's what your imagination is. Why do you keep imagining yourself with a second home? Because God wants you to have a second home. Why do you keep imagining yourself in a supervisory capacity on another job? Because God really wants you to have that. Why you keep dreaming of opening a business one day? That's because that's what God really got for you. And he put it in your imagination. The problem with your imagination, though, is you tell it to the wrong people. If you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person. You can't, oh man. Think about this in your life. How many times have you had this really incredible idea and you took it to your family and your friends? You shared it with them and they shot it down. You know why they shot it down? Because they couldn't see it. Because God didn't put it in their imagination. He put it in yours. It was your evidence of things not seen. See, all this stuff you've been imagining, you ought to start working on it. Because that's what God really got for you. Your real life is in your imagination. I'm here to tell you that. You think I'm here by accident? I'm here because he put this in my imagination when I was 10. When I was 10, he showed me I was going to be on TV. That's all I ever wanted. The assignment when I was in the 6th grade was everybody write their name on a piece of paper and write what you want to be. You know what I wrote on my paper? I want to be on TV. Now, the problem I had, though, was I used to suffer with a serious stuttering problem. I couldn't talk outside my house. I stuttered for years. I flunked out of school. I'm on my 3rd marriage. I lost everything I ever owned twice. I've been homeless and lived in a car for 3 years. But at 10, though, I wrote on a piece of paper, I want to be on TV. So the teacher went around the room and read everybody's paper, had you stand up when she called your name, and the only assignment was your name and what you want to be. Doctor, lawyer, dentist, basketball player, football player. I wrote I want to be on TV. She saved me for last. She said, little Stevie, come to the front. Now I'm thinking, I'm going to the front because I got the best answer. Because ain't nobody had put that on their paper. She called me to the front. I'm thinking I'm finna give me a gold star, but I was wrong about that. She called me to the front to humiliate me. First of all, you know I can't talk. I suffered with stuttering stammer so bad, man. I couldn't talk at all. And that lady lit in on me. Why did you write this on your paper? Now I'm standing there, I can't talk. Who in this school ever been on TV? Who in your family ever been on TV? Who in this neighborhood ever been on TV? I'm crushing, man. I'm standing there dying. She said, look at you standing there. You can't even talk. How they gonna put somebody like you on TV? So every Christmas, I send her a flat screen TV. Because I don't want her to miss me. I do not want her to miss not an episode of me. Because I wanted her to see what God had done for me. The fact that you couldn't see it.
Hi, welcome back to Mind Control. Hope you enjoy the video.
There's nothing wrong with me being me. I dress the way I like to dress. I dance the way I feel it. There's a reason I clap the way I clap. I nod my head the way I want to nod my head. It's part of my full-grown manness. You can take my clothes, but it wasn't in my clothes. And you can take my bracelets, it's not in my bracelets. And you can change my name and cut my hair, but you cannot take my identity, because I still remember who I am. I don't need your acceptance to the point of liquefying my uniqueness. I'd rather you dislike me and see me than to neutralize my identity, compromise my standard, just so that I can fit in with you. If you're gonna love me, you're gonna have to love me the way I am. Don't you forget who you are. I don't care how long the pandemic lasts. I don't care how much we go through. I don't care how tough it gets. Don't you forget who you are.
When you were created with a specific purpose, a specific design. You were designed to do what nobody else can do. Aren't you tired? You know, somebody telling you when to come to work. Somebody telling you when to take lunch. Somebody telling you when to do a vacation. Somebody telling you what you can and cannot do. Some of us, we were born to fly. But what I'm telling you is when you become the right person, once you identify who you are and you begin to separate yourself from the masses and you begin to see your individuality.
It's easy to look around at everybody else and say, that's what life looks like. That life looks perfect. I want to be just like that. So they go around and start acting like other people. So they end up lost. You have to follow your heart. You have to be you. You have to make your choices based on your principles and beliefs.
You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. And of course, the other side of the coin reads, unless you change how you are, you'll always have what you got. Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. Success is looking for a good place to stay. So instead of going after it, you work on yourself. Personal development. See, the major question to ask on the job is not what are you getting? The major question to ask on the job is what are you becoming? See, the big question is not what am I getting paid here? The big question is what am I becoming here? Because true happiness is not contained in what you get. Happiness is contained. It was easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenge. Wish for more wisdom. That's the key. Learn how to take advantage of the spring. Spring is called opportunity. And spring follows winter. What a great place for it. If you were going to put it somewhere, that'd be the place to put it, right after winter. And pray tell, how often does spring follow winter? Every year with regularity, 6,000. You can almost count on it. See, opportunity always comes. Days follow nights. Isn't that terrific? Opportunity follows difficulty. But here's what you must learn to do. Take advantage. You must learn to take advantage of the spring. See, just because spring rolls around is no sign you're going to look good come fall. You got to do something with it. In fact, you have to get good at one of two things in life. Planting in the spring or begging in the fall. Or get somebody to do it for you. See, those are about the only alternatives. Now here's what else you must do. Take advantage of the springs quickly, because there's only a few. Just a handful of springs have been handed to each of us. They don't come forever. Life is fairly brief. So you got to read every book you can get your hands on what to do with your springs while they're here. And take advantage, they soon run out. So whatever you're going to do with your life, you got to get at it. Don't just let the springs pass. Learn how to protect your crops all summer. You got to take care of what you start. Sure enough, as soon as you've planted your garden in the spring, the busy bugs and the noxious weeds are out to take it. And here's the next bit of truth. They will take it unless you prevent it. And that's the third major skill to learn. You've got to learn to prevent the intruder from taking all the good you start. It's one of the challenges. All good will be attacked. on this planet. Maybe not the next one we get to, but on this one, all good will be attacked. Every garden will be invaded. Not to think so is naive. All values must be defended. Political values, social values, community values, family values, marriage values, friendship values, business values. Every garden must be tended all summer. Learn how to reap in the fall without complaint. Learn to reap come harvest time without complaint. Take full responsibility for what happens to you. It's one of the highest forms of human maturity, accepting full responsibility. It's the day you know you've passed from childhood to adulthood, the day you accept full responsibility. Learn to reap in the fall without apology. Without apology if you do well, and without complaint if you don't. That's maturity. It's not what happens, it's what you do. What happens is about the same. You might put that in parentheses here. Same. What people do, that's what's different. Anything can happen, right? Everything can happen. I've heard all the stories. I've been one of the stories. Hey, we could all tell stories all night long, right? Happenings. Anything can happen. Everything can happen. Anything can happen. But it's not the happenings. It's what you do about it. Somebody says, yeah, but you don't understand the disappointments I've had. Come on. Everybody's had their share. Disappointments are not special gifts reserved for the poor. Everybody has them. The difference is what you do about it. Starting tomorrow, what are you going to do that'll make a change in your life's direction? Good question. What are you going to do starting tomorrow that'll make a difference? Now see, if you don't do something starting tomorrow that'll make a difference, guess what? It's gonna be the same. And see, that way you can guess what the next 5 years are going to be like. Look at the last 5. Because the next 5 are going to be like the last 5 unless you, major key, tomorrow, change it all. Or change a little, or change something, or don't change. It's choice time. You can do whatever you want. But it's nice to know any day you wish you can change your whole life. What can you do starting tomorrow that'll make a difference? And reach down inside of you and come up with some more of those remarkable human gifts. They're there, waiting to be utilized. And then change anything for you want to change. And I challenge you to do that because you can change. If you don't like how it is for you, change it. If it doesn't suit you, change it. If it doesn't please you, change it. If it isn't enough, change it. And I challenge you to do that because you can change. See, you don't ever have to be the same again after tonight, only by choice.
Thank you so much for watching till the end. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Please also like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and families. Please watch our other motivational videos. Thank you again. Hi, welcome back to Mind Control.
So I'm not here to tell you don't do this, do that, don't do that, do this. I'm here to change the way you think. And if I can change the way you think, I can't help but change what you do, can I? Let me introduce you to the concept of success. Ben Franklin was a pretty smart guy, and I want to start with a quote by him. If you do tomorrow what you did today, you will get tomorrow what you got today. You want to know what that means? The average American makes between 3 and 5% more each year. That's the deal. And in today's economy, I'm not sure we're going to make the 3 to 4 to 5% next year as employees. So it takes you 20 years to double your income in America as an average person. That's the mediocrity that we're stuck in life. And then you meet people who have the uncanny ability to double their income in a year, to get promoted 5 times in a year. The ones that beat the system, the ones that conquer it. You've all seen them, haven't you? The difference between them and the ones that don't do that is that they wake up in the morning and they think differently. They understand that if I do tomorrow what I did today, I'm going to get tomorrow what I got today. You want a bigger car? How about a nice house in Tahiti? Sure, would you love a nice house in the hills? We all want better things, don't we? We all want more friends, more stuff, more money, more security, more travel, more enjoyment. If you do the same thing tomorrow that you did today, you're stuck. Stuck. And it doesn't change. And it grows a little at a time, and you get a taste of success, but it's never fast enough. It never excites you. And when it does, it's a good month, or a good 2 months, or a good 3 months, but it doesn't provide a trajectory that creates success. So the first thing I want you to think about today is I want you to wake up tomorrow and do something different. And understand if you do the same damn thing, you're stuck. Just because you did it a certain way yesterday, there's no reason to do it that way today. I want it to hit hard. That's not what drives success. You do.
There's no place for patience in business. You know, patience in life means things happen slower than they could. So if you're going to be on this planet for 70 years and things happen slower than they should, at the end of 70 years, you're going to have less, aren't you? Less experiences, less time, less money, less of everything. So let's all hurry up, man, and get more out of life.
If you think your life is complete, then I suggest that you're an ass. Because tomorrow always has a great opportunity in it. Your life is not complete until you close your eyes. So when you say somebody who's in a job they hate would love to be able to do this, my comment is, why the hell are you in a job you hate? Don't you have the courage to leave it? So you're in a job you hate, you're doing nothing to change it, but you'd like better.
Sometimes
you have to do
but if they have mouths to feed. Sometimes I get it. But what were the things about you? Listen, we'd have to go over those specific cases, I think, and really get into each person to break them. But what do you think that were the things about you? One of it is you always had your eyes open to tomorrow and new opportunities. What were some of the other things as part of your personality? Because there aren't many people like you, but I've seen and I'm studying more and more people where amazing things are happening at 55 and 60 and putting them on life journeys that they never thought they were going to have. And I'm seeing that you guys have a lot of the similar attributes, but what do you think? What was it about you, John?
Courage. Courage. You know, the first time I went and shot a pilot for Bar Rescue was really hard. You think it's easy to scream at people on national television, to insult people on national television, to call you a jerk, challenge your marriage, challenge your integrity, challenge your professionalism? That's hard. That's not who I am. I don't wake up and embarrass people in front of their friends, right, in front of their family. Bar Rescue is the hardest work I have ever done. The courage that it takes for me to go out there and do these things.
The only final advice I would give you is I've lived a very unconventional life. And it's because I live my dream every day. Dreams are inspiring. Work is not. Find a dream. Dreams make this world go on. It built our whole country. And when we get in a rut as human beings is when we lose touch with our dreams. We lose the ability to fight for those dreams. So don't be an employee of Google. Live your dreams at Google. Find a way to match your dreams with the goals of your company and your own work, because there's nothing worse than when you see somebody who lost touch with their dreams. You wake up in the morning, you're failing. So you blame the president, you blame Congress, you blame Greece, blame the euro. I mean, construction industry, it's the mayor, it's the... And you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you're not failing because it's the other guy's fault, or it's the economy's fault. But if you looked in the mirror and said, I'm failing because of me, you wouldn't like it, and you change that. And I believe the common denominator of failure in any business is excuses. As long as you wake up and blame poor sales on the economy or an environment, then you have no motivation to make it better, because it's not your fault. But in the worst economic environment 4 or 5 years ago in this country that we've seen in our lifetimes, there were people making a lot of money, weren't there? In the height of that recession, there were people selling advertising, people opening restaurants, people building businesses. Somebody's making money, so the excuse is bull. It's bull. So wake up in the morning and own your failure. Look in the mirror and say, I'm failing because of me. And you won't like it. And then you'll change it. But as long as you don't put it on you, you have no motivation to change it. So in short, if you own your failure, you'll own your success. If you don't own your failure, you'll never dig out. And I find that in any business. Always the common denominator of failure, personally, is excuses. You don't want to be a failure, do you?
Not at all.
You don't want to look in the mirror and experience that. If you can't blame anybody but yourself, you're going to change. You're going to fight it out. That's the deal.
I have a dear friend who works for a large company, and he wants to open a franchise of sandwich stores. So he meets with me. He says, John, I need some advice. Do I leave my long-standing job and benefits and do this? Or do I... So why can't you have your cake and eat it too? Right? Why can't you bring in a partner? Why can't you bring in somebody to do it? There's ways to get there. It doesn't have to be absolute. So if somebody wants to create a second career, create new opportunities in their life, figure out a way to do it without risking what you have, right? And if you want it enough, you'll figure it out. I BS'd my way into jobs that I didn't have the experience to do and pulled it off. But I had to believe in myself to BS my way into it. And I knew I could figure it out too. Right. And that gave me the confidence to show up at the interview and convince that guy to hire me, because I was convinced myself that I could do it. And that comes across.
You got to wake up in the morning and drive revenue, which means you got to have the promotions, the ideas, the energy to elevate a business. You got to be a rainmaker in business, or you're never going to get anyone wet. And when they don't get wet, they dry up and go away. And it's that wetness of a rainmaker that filters down and trickles to everybody's success. You have to drive the energy of revenue to be successful. And when you do, you'll have no expense problems. I drive quality as a leader. My systems maintain quality. Now, with regard to new projects, to me, every new project is a ball. And I have to move that ball every day. So I know, for example, that I have 4 balls on my desk. There might be 5 pads. Let's say 5 balls on my desk. They might be 5 different pads, 5 different books, 5 different projects. Every day, I'm going to move those 5 balls. That's the way I live my life. And I can't go to sleep at night if I don't move every one of those 5 balls every day. Sometimes I have 3 balls. Sometimes I have 7 balls. But the amount of balls that I accept and put on my desk, every one of them is going to move forward every day. And I become relentless. So I've learned to live my life based upon the progress I make on a daily basis. And I believe that business is defined by what we do every day, every single day. And business is defined by the days that we have. So if you move those 5 balls every day, you can't help but be successful. You will achieve it, but you'll achieve it on a daily basis.
Thank you so much for watching till the end. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Please also like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and families. Please watch our other motivational videos. Thank you again.